What's up? Good morning, everybody. Welcome aboard to Trading Live with Bubba. Me. Well, not a lot going on. Markets were down pretty heavy. Made a nice rally, came all the way back down, but we're really just churning. I think there's probably a trade to look at here in crude oil, so we can certainly look at that. Let's see here, and our stop would be, as of right now, 61.41. Should we get a trade there? A new stop would be 61.45. And certainly the potential. And we can take the crude oil trade. 61.45 stop. Okay. And anything else going on of note? No, not really. Nothing of real excitement. Again, it's still kind of slow, kind of choppy, but you saw some pretty big moves in like Palantir, which was a 222 last night after the earnings came out, now down to 194. I think it was Spotify. I forget which one. Spotify was at 675 in the pre-market this morning, down to 628. So I think you might be seeing some topping action. We're not going to predict the top, but you are seeing some action that might suggest that could be a possibility. We'll look. Our crude trade is profitable at the moment, the one we just put on, and we have nothing else to do at the moment. So we'll just continue to watch and manage. Overall, as I said, there's not a real lot going on. You can see the lack of activity and the lack of movement. Okay, so that's just something that we have to, be prepared for and be aware of. But of course, as I said, our crude is working into a little bit of a win right now. Need a few more ticks to get out of one, and obviously that would be nice to do. But overall, it's relatively quiet, other than you get some of these relatively solid moves in off of the earnings reports. So we'll see what that looks like. Hold on one second. Okay. So our crude is right there, slightly profitable, but nothing that we're taking off and nothing that we're bragging about. So we'll continue to wait and watch there. But here, there is not a lot really going on. So we have to be patient enough to wait. But you are starting to see a little selling now. So let's take a look at our regular board. Now a lot of the earnings have passed, and look for some potential selling or buying. In Apple, there's really nothing to do. It did reach the peak. I think the real key, if you're looking at Apple, is to watch the 270 area. That would be something that would be to look at. So we'll see. Hold on one second. I'm sorry, but I have to take care of something. Hold on one second. One more second for me. Sorry, guys. Just got to take care of some business. Okay. So there we are back. So Apple, I would watch at 270. I think above 270, it might be a buy. Below it would be a sell. But right now, we're just hovering around it. Amazon, I think it was a sale and still a sale. Got big news yesterday morning and then kind of fell apart a little bit. Coin looks to me we're getting close to a potential buy. Nothing to do right here. We have to be patient and wait. Let's just go see what's going on here. Hold on one more second. Okay. So again, crude, again, tiny winner, nothing we're taking off here right now. We're just waiting and watching. Very, very quiet in here. Crowd was a sale yesterday, which I talked about on my Monday night call. And by the way, anybody here who would like to listen to me on Monday nights, or actually it's Monday afternoon at 4 Eastern, I do an hour webinar going through all the levels and talking about markets. Just email me at bubba@bubbatrading.com. I'll be happy to hook you up. ETHA, I think you should be selling put spreads here on ETHA. And let's see what they look like. I would actually take these out, even though normally on Tuesday we do it for the week upcoming. Okay. Hold on one more second. Okay. So I think that, you want to look at ETHA, and I would look at the 14th because I want to get a little bit more premium, and I'm pretty comfortable with the with selling here. Put spreads. I would sell the 26.25 for 35 cents. 26.25 for 35 cents. I think that's reasonable. I would expect a little bit of bounce in the crypto. Okay. Let's just go back and see what's going on here. Okay, not much. Now, if you took the crude trade and you want to take a profit, go ahead and take it. I'm going to wait, but you certainly have a few ticks in it right now. Certainly not anything too exciting. But ETHA, we sold. Okay. Meta would be a buy, sell, put spreads here. Meta. ETA. I would do these for this week. And the 632, 630. 632.50, 630 for $1.10. I can do that. Let me write that down. So I remember I got so many different positions on. Okay. And let's just go back and make sure we're not missing anything here. No, everything kind of just sitting where it was. Pretty quiet. Not a lot of emotional movement in this market right now. So let's go back here. Google. Certainly, we sold that last week, which is working fine. INOQ, nothing really to do in here. And all I'm really looking for is if they're overextended to one side or the other. That's really what you're watching for. These are just standard deviations away from the mean, looking for some retracement, and at least looking for it to hold. And I think that's just something important to understand as you go about your trading. You just want to have a reason, and especially in these markets that are extremely slow. There's no reason to force yourself into anything. But if you have an advantage, okay, or an edge, then you want to at least take that edge. And I think that's the whole key here, is being able to put yourself in an advantageous position. Okay. And of course, we don't have any advantage right here now. We are in the crude, which is about even right now. MP getting close. Again, I'd like to see him extend a little bit more. I'm not worried about missing. If I miss, I miss. There's always another trade. There's always another day. Okay, so I'm never in a hurry to do anything here. Microsoft getting close. A lot of things are getting close to being oversold, which you would like to bounce. MSTR would certainly be one to play. I mean, this is just getting blistered and pounded. Certainly, I would look at that one now. Michael Sierra Tango Romeo. And for this week, let's see here. We got the 250, 247.50. If I can get $1 for that, I would take it. Right now, it's about 98 cents. I would wait. I'd put the order in. I'd rather wait. Again, I'm not going to force anything in here. NNE, nothing really to do. Nugget, getting close, but really nothing to do. Really just stuck in a range. NVIDIA, we put that on last week, so that one's working well. Palantir, we did nothing with because of earnings, and it's getting a little bit clocked this morning here after being up big last night. QBTS, nothing for us to do. QQQ, nothing to do. SMCI, getting close. Certainly would look to potentially sell some put spreads here, but again, there's not an overwhelming amount of things to do right now. This is the issue we talk about, and this is where the patience pays off. We looked at Square. We didn't do anything. It's got earnings, so there's nothing I can do now. But certainly, if I were going to do something, I would look to be selling some put spreads. Let's go back and see if anything's going on here. Okay, nothing. We have still have our small little tiny profit in crude, but nothing else is moving. Okay, so again, we're either I'm going to take a guess which way the next move is going to be, or I'm going to do nothing. And again, I'd rather wait for the better opportunity when the markets dictate to me what to do. I don't want to make the decision. I don't want to guess. I mean, I want to take a high probability position, and they're not all going to win, but at least I know that I have the side of probability. Okay. Versus just saying, well, let's see. So what would I do right now in any of these markets? I don't know. I mean, you could look at it a number of different ways, but they're really just kind of consolidating. You can see that by the scrunching in of the Bollinger Bands. They're getting very narrow, suggesting that a bigger move is coming. Okay. So again, why would I want to, force something here when I have other things to look at and the trade? Tesla was a screaming sell yesterday. We weren't together, but again, there you go. It was very much overbought and should have been sold. When? Nothing. XBI? Nothing. XLE? Well, I don't look at that crap. And Zoom was a sell yesterday. Again, if you're learning to watch for these extensions, okay, and it's something that we need to do and need to look at, okay, because it gives you a better feel and a better shot at the overall market. That's really what you're working on, is trying to give yourself the highest position of probability without taking anything else into consideration, because the market will dictate what it's going to do. Okay. So if you can identify, a reason to trade, okay, long or short, doesn't matter. We don't care what side when we're trading. Okay. You can put yourself in a position, and that's all you're really trying to do. And here, what we're looking for here is what's called the blow-off pattern, which we had, and now we're going sideways. Now we do have a small profit. Okay. And I'm going to go ahead and take the profit right now. It's not very big, but a profit's a profit. And I'm just as happy to take it because, again, I've been in the trade. This is a trade that I've been in for since we got here. Okay. We got in right off the start and it didn't move. So do I want to sit here and wait longer? Because the tighter it winds, yes, it could break to my favor or it could break against me. But I've taken a high probability trade that now is not the same probability as it was when I took it. Naturally, now it's going down. Well, okay. But it could have gone either way. That's when the markets start to consolidate, they can go either way. So why should I force myself into that position, okay, when there's really no action? That's what we're always trying to look for, okay? When there's no action, why should I put myself in that position, okay? And it came right back to where we got out. So again, you're not going to buy the top, sell the top. You're not going to buy the bottom. You need to find a reason to be active and find a reason to enter the trade when the trade comes, okay? And this is something that we always work on, okay? It's the discipline to keep yourself in the right spot, okay? And not chase the market around, because it's easy to lose a lot of money in a tight range when you're chasing the market around. And I think that's something that too many people do, is they chase things around and they get themselves trapped, which again, I think is a mistake. Okay. Again, I think that you have to be much more cautious, especially when we have still pretty light volume. When you look at the overall picture of volume, it's really pretty light, pretty scary light. Okay, here. I mean, we've had no volume even throughout the little bit of selling we saw. So that's another sign. That's another warning sign of telling you to be more careful. Okay, because at the end of the day, you need to control your finances and you need to control your money. Okay, this business is about money. It's about nothing else. How to make it. Okay. And that's what we're always trying to focus and work on is how to make money doing it. Okay. And if you let things get, if you start to chase the market around, it creates a problem for you. So we've got a couple of trades, Meta, Monster maybe, and Ether. There's a couple that are working and I would just watch for, and we'll see if anything shows up in the next couple of minutes in case we get another opportunity, but I don't know that we will or we won't, but we'll be prepared for it. Should we? And that's always the case. Okay. Wonderful. Okay. All right. So nothing else going on. Have a great day, everybody. We'll see you back here on Thursday. Enjoy. Have a good one. We'll see you later.
You know how the financial world goes. Here comes the buzzkill. Please make sure to take some time to read this boring disclaimer. We will owe you one.